Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of my new guide series Teach Me How. Today I'll be showing you how to no damage Bracca in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on the hardest difficulty. My name is Hayete, and at the time of writing this guide, currently I hold multiple world records for Fallen Order, most notable the 100% Grandmaster no damage run. The first season of this series will focus on teaching you the strategies behind the run and how I accomplished each split with no damage. This series is in no way meant to be a guide for the only way to complete this challenge, but rather an explanation of how and why I did what I did in my own run. A link to the run highlighting this discussed section will be in the description section below. So to understand why I have developed or used certain strategies, it's best to understand my philosophy and the approach I take towards challenge running. In deciding to use a strategy, I'm looking for 3 criteria to be met: minimization of risk, repeatability, and consistency. Minimization of risk is exactly what it sounds like. I take a mathematical approach, and whatever strategy has the least amount of risk associated with it, that's what I use in most cases. Repeatability simply means, can I get the situation to unfold infinitely? And consistency is, can I, the challenge runner, perform that strategy as intended over and over and over again? So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk through how to do Bracca without taking damage. So I'm going to speed through the beginning of Bracca, as this part of the split's all about platforming. If you're having difficulties with platforming or a certain part here, take a look at the actual run VOD in the description section below to help you out. Bracca is essentially a tutorial split. This means a lot of the enemies you encounter are going to be designed to highlight a certain mechanic. For these first few enemies, it's fairly straightforward. These 2 stormtroopers, we're just learning how to swing the saber. Fairly easy, right? So swing your saber, kill them, and let's move on. For the next 8 troopers, simply deflect their blaster fire back at them. This does take timing and time to learn, but learn it now, because you'll be doing it a lot throughout the game. As you move into this train car, you'll be prompted with explanations on how to target enemies and swap targets. For these first 2 enemies, you'll want to initially target the trooper on the left, then swap to the one on the right, and then back to the one on the left. As you reacquire the trooper on the left, sprint in towards him, force slow, and attack. This will instantly kill the trooper. But don't stop attacking. Keep up the aggression, as these basic stormtroopers will prioritize defending themselves over being offensive. Hitting the last trooper twice will break his guard, allowing you to easily finish him off. The rest of the troopers here are part of tutorial explanations and specific mechanics. The first, you'll need to block his attack, then you can go aggressive. The second, you'll need to perfectly parry him. The final trooper needs to be force slowed and then defeated. Prompts will show on the right side of the screen explaining all of this. As you climb out of the train car, there are 3 troopers. There's 1 melee and 2 ranged. As long as you don't cross this point, the melee trooper will not move to engage you. So simply stand here, deflect the blaster fire, then move to engage the melee trooper. As you approach the end of the train car, you'll want to jump out and drop kill this trooper. Easy enough. This is just meant to teach you how to execute a falling attack. So as you approach the end of this train car, you'll see 4 troopers. The strategy I use here takes advantage of the enemy AI and how they respond to force being used on an enemy. Essentially, what I'm trying to do here is open up an area on the right that I can run through relatively unchallenged. So as you jump over to the train car, you'll want to wait a fraction of a second and then slow the closest trooper on the left. What this will do is pull the closest trooper on the right towards him, which opens a path on the right for you to move through. I absolutely do not suggest doing this strategy in reverse because it's very easy to get stuck on the geometry on the left side if you're not careful, specifically this spot here.
Get to the front, stop the train.
For this section, there are many different ways you do this. You can follow my example in the VOD, or you can simply just hold guard and walk forward. You have infinite guard in this section, so do whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Faster.
However, you need to be holding guard when you cross this door, because there's a small chance blaster fire will glitch through the wall on the left and can damage you. Eventually, you'll platform your way to the final section of enemies. I'm going to speed this up for the sake of time. Again, if you'd like to see it in real time, check out the VOD linked in the description section below. So as you climb to the top, you'll encounter quite a few enemies. 4 melee, 3 ranged. I like to move to this location to focus on the first 2 ranged troopers. This will put you at a pretty decent angle to deflect their fire back and also keeps you from engaging anything else. Once these are dead, your next focus is the 2 melee. You'll want to slowly move to this position here until you pull the trooper on the right. Once he's dealt with, move to this location and take out the second trooper. Now once this trooper is engaged, the final 3 will become active. You'll want to peek out from behind this area to get the ranged trooper to stop moving if he's moving, and prepare to fire. Once he does that, you want to position yourself so there is a melee trooper between yourself and the ranged trooper. That way when you deflect his fire, it'll kill the melee trooper. After you've done that twice, simply deflect the ranged trooper, kill him, and move forward. So once you get to this spot, 2 more troopers will emerge from the train car. You can either wait for them to leave, deflect their fire, and kill them, or you can just hold guard and walk past them. Either way you choose, doesn't matter, just reach the door and the split is complete. So hopefully this tutorial and explanation was sufficient enough to get you through the split without taking damage. So did you learn anything new? Or were you able to get through it on your own without getting hit? Leave a comment and let me know. If you enjoyed this episode of Teach Me How, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helps me out a ton, and it's the most direct way for you guys to let me know that you're enjoying this series. So with that, thanks for watching, and thank you for learning.
Hold on!